momentum, you can solve for your velocity. Okay, as well as your angular momentum. Okay, so as well as problems involving eccentric impact. We already talked about this during your midterms. No, this can be solved by supplementing the principle of impulse and momentum with application of this one. You're very familiar with this, the coefficient of restitution. Okay, so this will be all the topics that we will be discussing today. So let's start with the principle of work and energy for a rigid body. So it is well adapted to problems involving velocities and displacements, as what I have mentioned before. So main advantage here is that you can isolate your work and then kinetic energy since these are scalar quantities. Okay, so you can isolate both either of them to solve for your velocity and as well as your displacements. Okay, so let's take for example, we assume that the rigid body is made up of a large number of particles. Okay, so that is the concept of your rigid body. It's made of a large number of particles. We have this one. Now, your principle of work and energy, your initial kinetic energy plus your work from point one to point two is equal to your final total kinetic energy. Okay, so let's assume this one. How about what are the different forces to be considered, no, in this case for your rigid body, it is the internal and external forces acting on particles of body. Okay, so let's talk about the internal forces. The internal forces between particles A and B are equal and opposite. Okay, as shown here. Okay, they are equal and opposite. So that means, in general, small displacements of the particles A and B are not equal, but the components of the displacements along AB are equal. So based on this, we can say that the network of internal forces is zero. Okay, for your particle, for the different particles in your rigid body. So that's why when we are considering the principle of work and energy, we focus on the total work of the external forces acting on particles of the body. Okay, the network of internal forces is zero based on these arguments. Okay, then let's talk about the work of forces acting on a rigid body. So we have this one, the F times your distance from point one to point two. So we consider the network of two forces and your moment during a displacement of their points of application. So for example, this one you have this n- F and then negative F and then moment, no, during at this point. So this gives us your work is equal to your F times dr1, this one. This is your distance minus negative f times dr1 plus f times dr2. Okay, this is your dr2 distance. So summation of this gives us this is 0. So we have f dr2 or equal to ds2. We have fr d theta. This gives us fr is your moment. Okay, so this means that the work from 1 to 2 is equal to your m times theta 2 minus theta 1. Okay, this m, no, this is your moment of inertia. This m. Okay, then how about those forces, no, the acting on rigid bodies which do no work? So similar to your particles, these forces applied do not do work also, no. First is forces applied to fixed points. So reactions at the frictionless pin when the supported body rotates about the pin. So the work here is 0. Then we all know this forces acting in a direction perpendicular to the displacement. Okay, if your motion is going to the left, then your force acting is perpendicular going upwards. That's 90 degrees. So there that a force as zero work on the system. Okay. So other examples, reaction at a frictionless surface to a body moving along the surface. Okay, yan yung reaction. Let's say for example na kay plane dira then na kay roller support. So yung reaction na sa imong roller support is on the y-axis. But ang mong motion is going to your left or right. So that reaction doesn't do work sa imong system. And also weight of a body when its center of gravity moves horizontally. Okay? So it's very obvious na kay imong body moves horizontally but your weight is always vertical, no? Going downwards. Okay? So that's why this weight is doing no work sa imong system. Naman ni si Iskarda, daga na gawlat sa labi. Okay? Another force acting on rigid bodies which do no work. They are friction force at the point of contact of a body rolling without sliding on a fixed surface. Okay? So this is zero. Okay? So now let's talk about the kinetic energy of a rigid body in plane motion. So let's consider this one, rigid body of mass m now in plane motion. So your total, your kinetic energy, of course, that is your 1/2 mv squared plus 1/2 the summation of your mivi squared. This is your internal. Okay. So your mv, your m can be expressed as this one in terms of your velocity. This is your in terms of your angular velocity. Then nakay r dire, that is r squared. And this one can be expressed is in your moment of inertia. Okay, that's why we can have this one. Your kinetic energy is equal to your 1/2 mv squared plus 1/2 times your moment of inertia times your angular velocity squared. Okay, so that's why kinetic energy can be separated into the energy associated with motion of mass center G, this one, and the kinetic energy associated with the rotation of the body about G, this one. Okay, this is on the rotation, this is on the motion of the mass center G. Okay, so what if we consider a rigid body rotating about a fixed axis through O, this one? So your kinetic energy is equal to your 1/2 moment of inertia about O times your angular velocity squared. So next, for systems of rigid bodies, so when we are faced with problems involving systems consisting of several rigid bodies, so we can apply principle of work and energy to each body. Okay? So pwede nimo i-apply for the for the first body and then also to another body the principle of work and energy. Okay? So how are we going to do this one? Now we have this one. Still your kinetic energy initial plus your uh work from 1 to 2 is equal to your final. So this one, T1 and T2 are your arithmetic sum of the kinetic energies of all bodies forming the system. Okay? Arithmetic sum. Both T1 and T2. Then for your work from 1 to 2, this is work of all forces acting on the various bodies, whether these forces are internal or external to the system as a whole. Okay? So this is now considered as a whole. So for problems involving pin-connected members, blocks and pulleys connected by inextensible cords and meshed gears. So your internal forces occur in pairs of equal and opposite forces. So mo rin yung na kuan di ba sa statics ninyo, no? Then your points of application of each pair move through equal distances, and then the network of the internal forces is zero. So thus the work on the system reduces to the work of the external forces. So how can we apply also the conservation of energy to your rigid bodies? Okay. So this gives us the uh, your initial kinetic plus your initial potential is equal to your final kinetic plus your final potential energy. Okay, so let's consider the slender rod, no, of mass m. This one, kani mo ni mong rod. Now this is supported at A and B, and then na siya mass nga m, and your G is here. Ito sa certain length L. So yung motion is going downwards ang imong B, and then ang imong A is going to the left. That's why you have this one, no? Ang imong linear velocity of your rod will be going here, while your angular velocity will be here. Okay? So let's try to determine your angular velocity at a certain as a function of your angle or theta here. Okay? So T1 is equal to 0 for this one. It is from rest. And then our datum line is here. So our potential energy is 0. Okay? So T2, what is your T2 here? Your kinetic energy at this point. Kanina sa ubos. Wait lang. Okay? Dunggan mo ko ninyo. Nagdaglag mo to. Buhay pa mo diya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay? So this is what happened to your rod, no? That's a certain velocity, both linear and rotational, and then sa imong potential na pud siya certain change in distance. Okay? So if you calculate this one per your geometry, this one is 1/2 L sine theta. Okay? Based on this one. So for your kinetic energy, that is 1/2 mv square mv2 squared plus 1/2 moment of inertia at w2 squared. Okay. So for your center of gravity here, this becomes 1/2 m. Then your velocity here can be expressed as L times your angular velocity, not linear. Converting your linear velocity to your in terms of your angular velocity, we have this one. Then you have your moment of inertia for your if for your rod. This one over 12 ml squared. Okay, times your angular velocity squared. So simplifying this one, this will give us 1/2 ml squared over 3 times your angular velocity squared. Okay, that is your kinetic energy. For your total potential energy, so since we have this one, uh, negative W, mgh, mg, that is your W, and then your height is this one, 1/2 L sine theta. Okay, so negative 1/2 WL sine theta is expressing this one in terms of your mass and acceleration due to gravity. You have negative 1/2 mgl sine theta. Okay, so going back to the conservation of energy principle, you have your T1 plus V1 is equal to T2 plus V2. These are 0. So we have T2, substitute T2 here and then substitute V2. This gives us your angular velocity, no, in terms of your theta. So it is angular velocity is equal to 3g over L sine theta. Okay. So last concept, no, power. Power is the rate at which work is done. So for a body acted upon by force F and moving with velocity, you have this one. No, you have your force times your velocity. So for a rigid body rotating with an angular velocity and acted upon by a couple of moment m parallel to the axis of rotation, your power can be expressed in terms of your moment times your angular velocity. Okay. Any question before we proceed to the sample problems? May pangutana wala? Okay, so let's proceed to the sample problems. So here we have a drum, no, and a flywheel setup. So there's your drum and then this is your flywheel. So the moment of inertia for the system is 10.5 pound-feet second squared. Okay, and then we have here your radius 1.25 feet, and then the weight of your drum is 240 pounds. Okay, then the bearing friction here is equivalent to a couple of 60 pound-feet. Okay, yung friction is equivalent to a couple, which is equal to 60 pound-feet. So at the instant shown, the block is moving downward at 6 feet per second. Question is determine the velocity of the block after it has moved 4 feet downwards. Okay? So try to check the given. You have your velocity, you have your time. So the best method to use for this is the principle of work and energy. Okay? So to consider the system of the flywheel and block, so the work done by the internal forces exerted by the cable cancels. No, yung mga internal forces here, the network of the internal forces is zero. So the velocity of the block and the angular velocity can be expressed or related by this relation. Your linear velocity is equal to r times your angular velocity. Then we apply the principle of work and kinetic energy to develop an expression for the final velocity. Okay? So muna kung gusto makita no sa inyong solutions. Okay? So dili na tong given. Ang uban sa inyo kay igo ra gid drawing ang given, no? Diretso na mo para di mo malangan, diretso na ay na mo copy sa problem, ay na mo copy sa drawing, diretso na mo sa diagram. Okay? Diretso na mo sa diagram, sulat mo dira sa inyong given. Then para limpyo han-ay inyong solusyon. Di na mo kay madugay mo gud mo na copy-copy og problem. No need to copy the problems, just proceed directly to providing the diagram. So yung nga diagram dili kay ang diagram sa ninyo kay igo ra ninyo gikopya ang drawing sa problem. So express already the different parameters in your diagram. Okay? So na nakay weight dire, na nakay acceleration for your flywheel both in the x and y, and you have your moment here. Okay? So ingani na. Dili na 'to so nakay kuan diri V1 6 feet per seconds, then you're solving for V2. Okay? So say mas maayo kung diri ah, we are talking now about changes no, there's a changes already in the system. That's why you need to give the diagram of the initial and compare, and also the diagram of the final para pag-solve ninyo hanay no, dali ra siya. Okay? So makita mo gud ninyo diri kung unsay gipangita. So we are looking here for the final velocity after mo down ang imong ah, drum by 4 feet. So mao ni siya ang diagram nga akong gapangitahon sa inyong solutions. So velocity of the block and the angular velocity of the drum, we have this relation. So your linear velocity is equal to r times your angular velocity, which gives us your angular velocity is 6 over your r is 1.25. Your angular velocity is 4.80 rad per second. Also, your angular velocity expressed in terms, your angular velocity 2 in terms of your final velocity 2 can be expressed in this one. Okay, so your final velocity 2 over 1.25, that is your final angular velocity. So now let's go to the principle of work and energy. So expression for your T1, you have your 1/2 mv1 squared plus 1/2 moment of inertia times your angular velocity 1 squared. Okay, So mass is given, velocity 1 is given, moment of inertia is given, your angular velocity 1 is given. So you have your T1. Okay. Next is T2. So T2 is 1 half mv2 squared plus 1 half times moment of inertia times your angular velocity squared. So this is given. This mo na itong pangitaon ang V2. This is given moment of inertia. Ang atong angular velocity can be expressed in terms of its linear velocity, that is your V2 over 1.25. Okay? So simplify this one. This gives us 7.09 V2 squared. Okay, that is our T2. So now we need to solve for the work. No? So what are the different uh, displacements as well as the forces nga atong i-consider for this system. So we have your weight, na your weight kaning weight sa imong drum times the change which is katong 4 feet minus your work dere sa imong moment times the change in your angle theta 2 minus theta 1. Okay? So kani your theta 2 is solved by this one. Theta 2 is equal to S2 over R. So that is 3.20 rad. Okay? So this is your work from 1 to 2, both by your weight and your moment, that is 768 foot-pound. So now, you can go back, T1 plus work from 1 to 2 is equal to T2. So the only missing value is only V2. So V2 is calculated as 12.01 feet per seconds. Okay? So yan na ano, isolate no. Unsa inyo gipangita sa problem, gipangita is velocity. So final velocity. So you need to isolate your kinetic energy. So you can express your kinetic energy in terms of your final velocity, which is this one. Okay? Any question? So far, wala pang tara.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so let's proceed to another sample problem. So you have here two gears, no? Gear A and gear B. So this system is at rest when a moment of m is equal to 6 Newton meter is applied to gear B. So there is a moment applied to gear B which is equal to 6 Newton meters. So question, neglecting friction, determine the number of revolutions of gear B, no? Before its angular velocity reaches 600 RPM. And the tangential force exerted by gear B on gear A. Okay, so take note number of revolutions, your number of revolutions, you can use your angular velocity to solve for your number of revolutions. Okay, then kung ano nimo imong ang imo na yung force diri, tangential force, pwede na nimo ma-apply na yun na siya sa imong pwede nimo ma-isolate ang imong work, makuha nimo ang imong tangential force. Okay? So gear rotational speeds are related. Evaluate the final kinetic energy of the system. Then we apply the principle of work and energy. Okay? So this is your diagram. This is just a simple. You have your angular velocity sa your B and your angular velocity sa A. Since your B is moving counterclockwise, then your A here is moving rotating clockwise. Okay? Solving for your angular velocity sa B, we have so ang atong pautana is before man mo reach og 600 RPM. So we use this one 600 RPM times 2 pi rad per revolution over 60 seconds per minute. This gives us 62.8 rad per seconds. And your A that is equivalent to uh, your angular velocity sa B times your RB over RA, no? This is relation to your radius. So we have angular velocity sa A is 25.1 rad per second. Okay? Then your moment of inertia, ma times your Ka squared. So you have this one, 0.4 for your A. And then for your B, that is 3 kilograms. Given na sila kanina, no? That is MA 10 kilograms and then MB is 3 kilograms. So Ka is 200 mm, no? And KB is 80 mm. Okay, so you both have this moment of inertia. So now let's proceed to solving for the applying the principle of work and energy. Solving first for the kinetic energies. You have this one. T2 is equal to your 1 half IAWA squared plus 1 half IBWB squared. So, puro na siya. So, these systems of rigid bodies, arithmetic sum of your kinetic energies, pwede siya makuha. Okay? So, here, your rotational energy is being considered. So, plug in values. You have your moment of inertia sa A times your angular acceleration, angular velocity sa A, both for A and B. So, you have here your final total kinetic energy, 163.9 joules. Okay? So, applying the principle of work and energy, then we calculate the number of revolutions required for the work. So, T1 plus your work is equal to T2. So, T1 is 0, no? That is from rest. And then, so your work from 1 to 2 can be expressed as 6 times theta B joules. Okay? So, this gives us theta B is equal to 27.32 rad. Okay? So, this gives us, in terms of number of revolutions, your 27.32 rad over your 2 pi, that is 4.35 revolutions. And applying the principle of work and energy to a system consisting of gear A. Okay. So theta A, we have this one. Then T2 is we have this one. So T1 plus work from 1 to 2 is equal to T2. So your work here is MA times 10.93 rad. This one, that is your theta A, is equal to 126 joules. So this can be expressed in terms of your tangential force times your radius, ang imong moment here. So this gives us force is equal to 11.52 over your radius, which is 0.25. This gives us 46.2 newtons. Okay? Any question?
Yes, may sir.
Punta na.
Ano ka na kuan sir? Um, Pwede next. Kuan sir. Ano ka? 6. Data bitong kuan sir.
Sa?
Katong sa
Kani?
work sir. Kana sige sir.
Ang moment nimo. Mao na imong work sa imong moment sa B. So your M is 6 Newton meter. And then yung distance to consider ana is theta B. So mo na imong pagtuyok.
Sige sir.
So that means nga ang theta B is 27.32 rads. Kira?
Yes sir.
Wala na? Any other questions for this problem? Okay. So we have other problems here, no? Just try to uh, just try to read this nani sa inyong libro. Just try to read these problems na understand their solutions as well. Mao ra man ni balik-balik ra man ta ni. Principle of work and energy. Then your kinetic energy is composed of your center of gravity nga motion and your rotational motion. Again din ninyo kalimti ang rotational motion. Okay? So 5-minute break no before we proceed to the next topic.
Yes, sir.
So now let's proceed to principle of impulse and momentum. How are we going to apply this to rigid bodies and system of rigid bodies? So for again, as what I have mentioned before, we use the method of impulse and momentum when we are solving problems involving time and velocity. So again, why time? Pwede nimo ma-isolate ang imong impact, that is force times time. You have time there. And then velocity, i-isolate nimo imong momentum, that is mass times velocity. You have there your velocity. Okay? So the only practicable methods for problems involving impulsive motion and impact. Okay, the method of impulse and momentum. So again, what is this principle of impulse and momentum? It says that your uh, momentum on your first system plus the impact of your system, the summation of your impact of your system is equal to the moment of the final momentum of your system. Okay? This is your, let's say this is your initial momentum plus the summation of your impact that is equal to your final momentum. Okay? That is your method of impulse and momentum. So the moment of the particles of a system can be reduced to a vector attached to your mass center. So what are these? You have your your vector L, that is your mv, and your couple, which is equal to the sum of their moments about the mass center. So you have here this couple, uh, sum of your moments about the mass center. Okay. So for the plane motion for rigid body, for a rigid slab or of a rigid body, which is symmetrical with respect to the reference plane, your hg is equal to your I times your angular velocity. Okay. So for the using the principle of impulse and momentum, no, this can be expressed as this one, no, in terms of your free body diagram for your initial momentum. You have this one, your mv1, and then your rotation, your moment times your angular velocity 1, plus the summation of your FDT or integral of FDT, external forces, no? The summation of your external forces times your time, which is equal to your final momentum, which can be expressed in your mv2 and your rotation times your angular velocity 2. Okay? So based on this, you have your free body diagram. Based on this, we can generate three equations of motion. First, summing and equating moments and impulses in the x and y direction. You have for your x and y direction, you have two equations of motion here. And then summing and equating the moments of the moment and impulses with respect to any given point. Okay, so that is your third equation of motion. Okay, so kato ra gyapon summation of moment impulses in the x and then also in the y and summing also the moment. So katong tulo. You have three equations of motion. Okay? How about for a non-centroidal rotation? This is your angular momentum about O here, no? This is your point O. Then yang non-centroidal, wala siya sa center, no? Yang rotation. Okay? So let's say for example this one, this is your angular momentum about O. Okay, it is your IW plus your MVR, or can be expressed as I plus MR squared times your angular velocity. And equating the moments of the moment and impulses about O. So you have this one, IOW angular velocity 1 plus the summation of your MODT, okay, plus equal to your IO W2. So for systems of rigid bodies, how can we strategize to use the principle of impulse of momentum? Now, motion of several rigid bodies can be analyzed by applying the principle of impulse and momentum to each body separately. Okay, so if we have if we are talking about several rigid bodies, we can apply the principle of impulse and momentum to each body separately. Okay, or for problems involving no more than three unknowns. So kung 1, 2, 3 ra ka unknowns, it may be convenient to apply the principle of impulse and momentum to the system as a whole. No? Kay maka-generate man tag three equation of motions, no? Summation of x, summation sa y, and then summation of moment. Okay? So three unknowns. So for each moving part of the system, the diagrams of moment should include a momentum vector and or a momentum couple. Okay? Kani, no? Na kay uh, momentum vector, no? This is your momentum vector and your momentum couple. Okay? Mao gina inyong pag-express sa iyong free body diagram. So internal forces occur in equal and opposite pairs of vectors. This is already explained also in the principle of work and energy. So it doesn't generate non-zero net impulses. Okay? So conservation of angular momentum. So when no external forces acts on a rigid body or a system of rigid body, naglag na sa okay. Doon ka na ako?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Naram
sir.
diya? Okay. So the total linear momentum and angular momentum about any points are conserved. So you have this one. Then when the sum of the angular impulses pass through O, the linear momentum may not be conserved, yet the angular momentum about O is conserved. So you have HO1 is equal to HO2. Then two additional equations may be written by summing x and y components of moments and may be used to determine two unknown linear impulses, such as the impulses of the reaction components at a fixed point. Okay, so let's try to apply this one. The difference, the method of impulse and momentum for these problems. Okay, so again, you have your gear, two gear combination. The system is at rest when a moment of m is equal to 6 Newton is applied to gear B. So neglecting friction, determine the time required. So take note no, ang gipangita na dire is time, no? Time required for gear B to reach an angular velocity of 600 RPM. So kanina when we used principle of work and energy, we're talking about displacement. Okay? So now we are we're looking for the time. And that still the same, the tangential force exerted by gear B on gear A. Okay? So consider each gear separately, then apply the method of impulse and momentum. Then solve the angular momentum equations for the two gears simultaneously for the unknown time and tangential force. Okay? Naman kay doc unknown. You have your uh, time and then you have your tangential force. So considering each gear separately, drawing the free body diagram. Okay? So when you draw the free body diagram, you direct this no for your when you use the method of impulse and momentum. So this is for your gear A. So you have this one. Initial, this is at rest, this is 0. And then you have your uh, F force times dt. So the different force here is AX and AY, and then your FT. So your tangential force here, if you take note, uh, tangent sa imong B, so imong force is going there, paana iyang direction. Okay? Equal to your final momentum. So this can be expressed as IA WA2. Okay? So moments about A, that is 0. So 0 man siya, minus FT times your RA, no? Moment arm, RA. Okay? That is equal to negative IAWA2. So the the assumption, ang imong positive is counterclockwise. So kani is clockwise man, so negative, and then kani is clockwise yapon, that is negative. Okay? Plug in values. So we have your moment arm, that is 0.250 m. You have your moment of inertia, 0.400 kilogram meter, and then you have your WA, that is 25.1 rad per seconds. Okay? So tangential force, 40.2 Newton seconds. Okay? Or na ko ano ni? Tangential force supposed to be that's newtons. Okay? So let's continue. Moments about B. Sabi na po ka mag-moment. This is the free body diagram of your B. So this is 0 plus mt. Tama kay moment diri sa imong B, which is your 6 Newton meter times T times time minus your FT times RB. That is your radius sa imong B. That is equal to your final dire. That is your IBWB2. Okay? So solving the angular momentum equations for the two gears simultaneously, so unknown time and tangential force. So we have this one, 0.871 seconds and 46.2 newtons. So FT pa rin, no? That is still force times time. That is why Newton seconds. Okay? So FT pa man din dire. So this is your equation 1. Then your equation 2 is this one. So 6T minus FT times 0.1 is equal to this value. So substitute FT 40.2 here. Then you can solve for your time. This is 0.871 seconds. And then FT, so your F is equal to 40.2 divided by 0.871 seconds. This gives you 46.2 newtons. Klaro? So it's very important nga mapakita ninyo ang free body diagram. Once you draw the free body diagram, so dali na lang tayo ang pag-apply sa method of impulse and momentum. Okay? Any question so far?
Wala, sir.
Kira? So another problem. So you have here a uniform sphere of mass m and radius r. It is projected along a rough horizontal surface with a linear velocity v1 and no angular velocity. Okay? So by the way, so wala man siya linear velocity, so that's why ang iyang kwan is ang iyang free body diagram ang iyang couple. Okay? So free body diagram sa imong kwan is your linear velocity. Saka naglag ang mouse. Okay? So, linear velocity and your couple. Okay? So, wala man siya linear velocity, no? Rotation naman siya. So, that's why you have here your couple. So, this time, a uniform sphere of mass m and radius r is projected along a rough horizontal surface with a linear velocity v1 and no angular velocity. So, the coefficient of kinetic friction is mu k. So, determine the time t2 at which the sphere will start rolling without sliding and the linear and angular velocities of the sphere at time t2. Okay? So, apply the principle of impulsive momentum to find variation of linear and angular velocities with time. Then, we relate the linear and angular velocities when the sphere stops sliding by noting that the velocity of the point of contact is zero at that instant. So, ning kuha naman siya, it will start rolling without sliding. Dili na siya ga-slide sa kuan ba. So, zero na ang iyang velocity sa point of contact. Okay? Sundan ang kuan. Then, substitute for the linear and angular velocities and solve for the time at which the sliding stops. And then based on the time, we evaluate the linear and angular velocities at that instant. Okay, so this is your free body diagram. So this is your linear velocity. This is your rotation, your moment couple. Okay, so this is zero. Wala man siya angular nga wala man siya angular nga velocity at first. Okay? Then your impact. So that what are the different forces? So you have your frictional force, that is your Ft, and you have your normal force, that is your Nt, and your weight of your sphere. Then equal to the final momentum, which can be expressed as a linear momentum, linear vector, and your rotational moment couple. Okay? So apply y components. You have nt minus wt is equal to 0 or your nt is equal to wt. So your normal force is equal to mg. Okay? Emission of x components. So what are your x components? mv1 minus ft. No, this one is equal to mv2. So ft can be expressed, frictional force can be expressed as your mu kn times t. So mu kn, that is mg times t. Okay? So your velocity 2 can cancel out your mass. Your velocity 2 can be expressed in terms of your v1 minus mu k times gt. Okay? So moments about g, no? Moment ka about g. What are the different forces nga na moment about g? So you have your ft, no? That is your ft times r. So positive siya since this will go clockwise. And then you're equal to your positive gyapon IW equal to your I times your angular velocity 2. Okay? So, wait lang, naglag ang mouse. So, your FTR can be expressed as this one. Mu k times mg, that is your ft. Your F, your frictional force. Then TR, that is equal to your moment of inertia, that is 2/5 mr squared for your sphere times your angular velocity 2. Okay? Simplify, cancel out m, 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 and then ang r, isa na lang mabilin. So you have your angular velocity in terms of your radius and then your time. Okay? 5/2 mu k g over r times t. Okay? So relate linear and angular velocities when sphere stops sliding by noting that velocity of point of contact is zero at that instant. Okay? So what is this? So your V2 can be expressed as your R W2. and then your V1 minus, this follows that your V1 minus uh, mu k times gt is equal to your r. So this is your V2, right? Linear velocity 2 is equal to your r times r times your w angular velocity 2, which is 5 over 2 mu k g over rt. So simplify, this gives us t is equal to 2 over 7 v1 over mu k times g. Okay? Nam kay ma-simplify man nimo in terms of time. So this gives us 2 over 7 v1 over mu k times g. Okay? So we have our time with this as a function of your v1. And next is substitute for the linear and angular velocities. Mano ni siya? Evaluate the linear and angular velocities at that instant. So at this time, what are the linear and angular velocities? Okay? So V2 is equal to V1 minus you have this one. You were able to solve this one, right? So V2 simplify that is 5 over 7 V1. Okay? Cancel out this one, cancel out this one. So aaning gikan, this is V2 minus summation of x components. Remember this one, V2 is equal to V1 minus mu k times GT. Okay? So time, substitute value of time here, 2 over 7 V1 over mu k times G. So simplify, cancel out, cancel out. So that is V1 minus 2/7 V1. So 1 minus 2/7, that is 5 over 7 V1. Okay? Then angular velocity, W2 is equal to 5 over 2 mu kg over r times t. Substitute the value of your t. So cancel out, cancel out, cancel out, cancel out. That gives us 5 over 7 v1 over r. Okay? Any question? Sundan ra? Okay, so let's continue. Try na lang to solve this problem, no? In your own, try to check this problem in your own. Naram na sa libro. Okay? So same lang yung i-apply the principle of impulse and momentum. So last topic, no? Last topic is on eccentric impact. Okay? So we already have an understanding of this one in the eccentric impact. We are concerned about there's a period of deformation and period of restitution. Okay? So here we are introduced the coefficient of restitution, which is your period of deformation over your period of restitution. Okay, so this can be expressed also as this one. So let's try to solve this problem, an eccentric impact. So you have a 0.05 pound bullet is fired into the side of a 20-pound square panel. Okay, this is your 20-pound square panel, which is initially at rest. So question is determine the angular velocity of the panel immediately after the bullet becomes embedded and the impulsive reaction at A, assuming that the bullet becomes embedded in 0.0006 seconds. Okay, so this is an example of an eccentric impact problem. Okay, so solution, consider a system consisting of the bullet and panel, apply the principle of impulse and momentum. Then the final angular velocity is found from the moment of the moments and impulses about A. And then the reaction at A is found from the horizontal and vertical moments and impulses. So this is your free body diagram. So this is your initial moment. No, this is your bullet MBVB. Your panel here is at rest plus your impact. No, a x a y delta t. And then your final momentum. So you have here your uh, MP V2 and then I times your angular velocity. Okay? So summation of moments about A. So what are the different this one about A, dire ibabaw. So we have MBVB times 14 inches convert to feet, that is 14 over 12 feet plus 0, 0 ma 0 man ni sila, no, equal to MPV2 times 9 inch. So that is 9 over 12 feet plus IPW2. Okay? So based on this, substitute values, we have V2 is equal to 9 over 12 feet times your angular velocity 2. Okay? Then your IP, your moment of inertia here is 1 over 6 mpb squared for this rectangle, no? So 1 over 6, 20 over 32.2 times 18 over 12 squared. So you have this one. So substitute values, your angular velocity is 4.67 rad per seconds, and your linear velocity sa 2 is 3.50 feet per seconds. Okay? So the final angular velocity is 4.67 rad per seconds. The next problem, the reactions at A, no? AY and AX. So summation of X components, you have MBVB plus AX delta T, no? Is equal to your MPV2. So you have the substituting values na kay delta T nga 0.006 seconds. So nabili na lang isa mong AX. So you have 259 pounds. Then sa Y components, that is just simply AY delta T is equal to 0. Wala man lain Y dira. So this gives us AY is equal to 0. Okay? Any question for this? Kani man, reaction sa A. Any question?
Excuse me, sir.
Saman.
Sa about unsan na point ni mo paningan 6 sir.
Ana?
Kaning ay moment ni inertia sa T sir. About na unsan ni na point sir.
Okay, formula ni siya sa moment of inertia sa rectangle.
About sa centroidal ni sir.
Ah,
Thank you sir.
1 over 6 MP B2. Isa pa. Any other questions? Wala na? Wala na? Tubag mga animal. Puta na.
Wala, sir.
Okay, so let's proceed to another problem. So this one, so you have here a 2 kilogram sphere, no, with an initial velocity of 5 meters per second, striking the lower end of an 8 kilogram rod AB. Okay, so the rod is hinged at A and initially at rest. So the coefficient of restitution between the rod and sphere is 0.8. Question is determine the angular velocity of the rod and the velocity of the sphere immediately after impact. Okay, so consider the sphere and rod as single system and apply the principle of impulse and momentum. Okay, so the moments about A of the moments and impulses provide a relation between the final angular velocity of the rod and the velocity of the sphere. And we use the definition of the coefficient of restitution to provide a second relationship between the final angular velocity and the velocity of the sphere. So we have here the two equations, two unknowns. We can solve for the final angular velocity of the rod and the velocity of the sphere. Okay, so this is your free body diagram. So never forget this free body diagram. Na. So we are now considering uh, the system as a single system, your sphere and your rod. So that's why here you have your initial system. So you have your MSVS of your sphere, and then this is at rest. So that's why you have your rotation and initial momentum and initial moment couple is zero, zero. Okay, plus your system impact. So you have your the ang force ani is ang imong reaction sa A o B, sa reaction sa A, I mean. So this is pinned. So you have AX and AY. So mo na imong impact delta T and delta T. Okay? And you have here your final, no? You have your MSVS final, then you have your MRVR final, and you have your I final angular velocity. Okay? So moment about A, to cancel AY and AX, you have MSVS times 1.2. Okay? This is 0. Then you have here MSVS final times 1.2 plus MRVR times zero point 0.6 plus times I times W. Okay? So here, VR is equal to RW equal to zero point 0.6 meters times W final angular velocity. Then your I is 1 over 12 ml squared. You have 0.96 kilogram meter squared. Okay, so this gives us following. Then you have here the final. You have your final velocity sa sphere, and you have your angular final angular velocity. Okay, so this is equation 1. Okay, so to generate equation 2, use the relative velocities by using the definition of your coefficient of restitution. So VB minus VS is equal to E times VB minus VS. So using this one, substitute values, you have this one 1.2 times final angular velocity minus Vs is equal to final velocity sa sphere is equal to zero point 0.8 times change in velocity Vb minus Vs. So that is 5 meters per second. Okay. So solve this solving for the unknowns, no, two equations to unknowns, you have the following. Final angular velocity, 3.21 rad per second, and your final velocity sphere is 0.143 meters per second. Okay? Any question regarding this one?
Given ang sir, coefficient of restitution sa problem, sir, no?
Na kay coefficient of restitution 0.8.
Thank you, sir.
Any question? Wala? So kung namoy free body diagram, so dali na lang no. Pagkuha sa imong moments and then apply na kag coefficient of restitution para ma-relate nimo mga velocities to solve for the unknowns, which is your final velocity sa sphere and final angular velocity sa rod. Okay? So any question? Wala na? So
Yes.
try to check this problem no. Try to check this problem na sa inyong libro. This is also using principle of impulse and momentum. No? Mora gyapon na siya. So if you have this free body diagram, then na kay mga mapakita ninyo ang mga moment arm, no? So dali na lang gina pag-solve. Okay? Any question? Wala pa ko na?
Wala na, sir.
Wala na
So
po, sir.
our schedule ano, long exam will be our last long exam for finals will be this coming Saturday. Same ra gyapon time 8 AM to 11 AM. And then our final exam will be and then your PIT by the way, submission sa inyong PIT will be on Wednesday. No, next Wednesday that is May 14. And then final exam will be May 19. Okay? So May 19 the time is 3 PM to 7:30. So that is 1 hour and 30 minutes per batch. And then grade consultation kay final exam nato is 19 man. So diri na lang ta mag-grade consultation sa 17 morning, no? 'Di ba initially itong grade consultation is May 21, no? Pero na-move man ang atong final exam sa 19, so atong grade consultation is 17. Okay? So morning, entire morning, no, from 8 AM to maybe 8 AM to 11, no, pwede ra mo anytime pwede ra mo makasulod. If you want, you can bring your copies sa inyong long exam para ma-check sa records. And then compute na 'to, no? That is why consultation para makabalo mo sa inyong kuhaonon nga score sa finals to pass the subject. Okay? Klaro?
Sige, sir.
So wala na pangutana? So by the way no, katong representatives per section, pali akong adni diri sa office. Kay iuli na ko inyong problem set and then ang inyong long exam number 2. Okay, tama na mga 3:30. Ani mo diri before 3:30. And then problem set, I will be posting sa Facebook group ang atong problem set number 3 that is due on Friday. Okay? Wala na pangutana? Any questions, comments, concerns? So if done, let's have a closing prayer. Alina, can you lead the prayer?
Yes, sir. For those who are Catholics, please sign of the cross, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, thank you for giving us courage na makalahutay this lection, and thank you for giving us guidance also na mo succeed ani nga subject, Lord. Unta mapasayang tanan ani nga subject, Lord. And thank you for giving guidance kay Sir Nelson po for um karon nga lection. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay, thank you for coming. See you on Saturday.